Okay, we're just waiting for a few more people to join. Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to the final session of this block of yoga. My name is Emily from the Fertility Network team. I'm just going to go through our usual disclaimers before I pass over to our instructor, Annie. Please remember that when practicing yoga online, it's just up to the individual to assess whether they are ready for the class they've chosen, in this case, fertility yoga. If you suffer from specific injuries or disease, it's best to consult with your doctor first. Practicing yoga requires you to gauge the safety of your practice within your own personal physical limitations. Remember, it's better to build up slowly rather than to force and strain. And while you may feel some exertion, you should also feel relaxed. Techniques and suggestions presented in this webinar are not intended to substitute for proper medical advice. You should always consult with a doctor before starting a new exercise program. Both Fertility Network UK and Annie Perry assume no responsibility for any injuries presented while practicing these techniques. So with that said, as it's the final session of this block, if you've been enjoying it, if you've been finding it helpful, do let us know on social media or reach out to us via email. That's really helpful for us to know when we're planning new events for the future. Okay, I'll pass it over to you, Annie. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Hi, everybody. I hope it's sunny where you are. It's actually sunny here in Scotland, believe it or not. So I've been enjoying nice weather here. Yeah, so as Emily said, it's the last in a 6-week block. I just can't believe where the time's going. All these little blocks just seem to fly in. So yeah, just like what Emily said, I'll just reiterate, just give them a wee message if you are enjoying it. I hope you are. Even just on their wee social media, Facebook and Instagram posts, just pop a wee comment underneath. So I hope everyone's well. I hope you're getting to make use of like the restrictions slowly but surely easing. It's tough, hasn't it? So I hope it's putting a wee bit of a spring in your step. So we'll get moving into our practice tonight. So we're working quite deep into the hips tonight, so just taking care. It's not it's not super restorative, but I'll give you restorative options if you're feeling really lethargic and really low and you just need a bit of a slower practice. You can by all means do that, okay? And there's some prone postures, so as in we're lying on our tummies, so I'll give you adaptations for that. If, say, for example, you're on the 2-week weights, maybe not do the prone postures. I was saying to my ladies in class last night, it's not really doing you any harm, but I think psychologically, if you're on the 2-week weight, lying and putting pressure on your tummy isn't good, okay? So it's more suited to the first half of the cycle. So I think that's all I can think of just now. I've seen a little comment pop up, so I'll just check that and check everyone's all right. And then we'll get cracking. And oh, that's a shame, Jacqueline, did you only find out about these last week? I know it's we've been running them like pretty much consistently since last year, but we always take little breaks in between it. So yeah. So in the meantime, actually, if you've got any questions, about fertility yoga, then I totally love it if you reach out to me on social media. I love hearing from you guys. So on Instagram, it's just Annie Perry Yoga. So find me and follow me if you want. And even if you don't want to follow me, just send me a little message if you've got any questions, okay? Right. So usual disclaimer, this is all on the website, but obviously I give adaptations every week for where you are in your cycle. But if you happen to be post-retrieval or post-transfer, if you're going through an IVF cycle, then no physical yoga for you tonight, I'm afraid. Just the breathing, just the relaxation, all right? We'll just take a little break from the physical practice just for that time scale, then you can get back to it, okay? So we're going to begin. So we're going to actually just go straight into it tonight and start on all fours. So we do want to focus on the breath, of course we do, but we're going to use all fours and some positions from there to start to tune into the breath. Then we'll move to child's pose and start to calm everything all down, okay? So if you could come to all fours for me, we're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders, fingers are spread, okay? Knees underneath the hips. have a little sway from side to side. So we really want to check into the hips. We want to see how they're feeling tonight. We want to see if there's tension there. So I like to give a little sway side to side and even some circles round about. Okay, so just circling the hips. And as we're doing that, we can just begin to tune into the breath. Okay, so we're looking for in and out through the nose in our practice. Well, we want deep breathing, obviously, but that doesn't always come straight away, and that is totally fine if it doesn't, all right? So I've just settled my pelvis again, but I'm going to start circling again, but this time we're going to go round and over the wrists, okay? So we're going to come back a little, take the weight back from the wrists, then out to the right-hand side, then out front, then the left. And you start to see that you're making circles with the whole body, the body just parallel to the mat, circling round. And then go the other way. And then we're just going to settle down, okay? Table pose again. Then we're going to take an inhale, okay? Just a nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to curl up with the spine, okay? Like your angry cat, chin down onto chest. And then with your spine all curled up like this, push your weight away from the hands and the wrists and take your bum down onto your heels. So we're making our way to child's pose, but we're not just flopping down. We're keeping it very, very slow and mindful. So we're making it a nice wide-legged child's pose. So if you need to just widen the knees a little bit and settle down with the sit bones on to the heels. Then we want to the object here is melting with the heart and like your armpits down towards the mat. And then the head sort of comes last. And we kind of do want the forehead to reach the mat. If it doesn't do that very easily, then fold the arms over and settle the head onto the arms. Okay? So here we are going to really start to tune into the breath, all right? So what I want you to start feeling is the ribs are now encased in between your thighs, okay? So is your beautiful womb space, okay? Nice and nestled, nice and safe in between your thighs. And we want to start directing the breath down into those areas. And I quite like doing a kind of opening meditation from child's pose because it allows you to feel the ribs expand and contract onto the thighs. And if you don't feel that, maybe you need to go a little deeper just to make that happen. It's a good way to deepen the breath and to focus, okay? So we're doing that, we're just noticing the breath. We're looking to feel how the spine's doing, what's happening there. Does it feel quite tense? Do the shoulders feel quite tense? So I want you to relax, obviously, in the session. So if your shoulders are creeping up here with the hands away out in front, maybe it would be nice just to fold your arms underneath the forehead to release through the shoulders. And imagine I'm there and I've just got my hands, I'm just coming around behind you, I'm just gently placing my hands on your shoulders and I'm just drawing them back and down. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling tonight? And just, this is really important, that you come to the mat with a really non-judgmental attitude to yourself. So if you're coming with emotions that may be classed as negative, by just that's what we call them, that's fine. That's how you're feeling tonight. That's how you've come to the mat, and that's good. We accept where we are. If you're feeling pretty good, then happy days. But if we're not, then that's just fine. Okay, so keep your breath moving in and out here. Try and really inflate the belly. So we're really bringing our awareness deep down in, down into the womb space. Visualize the breath sending beautiful fresh prana and oxygen down into the womb space. So all the way through the practice tonight, you're going to be trying to clear the mind, trying to focus on the breath and just moving your body with lovely fluidity, okay? But that being said, I was saying this to my ladies last night in class. There's a real concept of it. You've given yourself this time and this self-care, okay, which is awesome. You're here and you're doing it, right? If you're going to bash yourself for, oh, my mind's wandering too much, I'm not clearing the mind, oh, I've forgotten my breath, oh, I'm not doing this very well, then really we've defeated the purpose, haven't we? We've defeated the purpose of this is your time and your self-care. So let's not do that. Let's just try and enjoy the practice with no judgment, okay? Let's come back up to table pose and then let's get into more of a flow, okay? So what we just did before, our angry cat down to child's pose, we're going to do. We're not going to luxuriate child's pose anymore. Sorry guys, I know it would be great to do that, but we're going to get moving, okay? So this is a Kriya exercise, a cleansing exercise. So we inhale, we exhale, curl up, draw the navel up towards the spine, tilt the pelvis down into child's pose, but we just pause there for a little breath as we inhale back up to table. Exhale, curling up, down to child's pose. So I'm not going to talk through every single one because I want you to find your own little rhythm. Okay, let's go for one more. Okay, and back up. Right, so we're really looking for, in these Kriya exercises, we're really looking to open up the fascia and musculature, that's right, isn't it, of the pelvis. So we're doing a lot of that from all fours tonight. So it's quite wrist heavy, which is why I was just warming up through the wrists at the start there, doing those circles. But if it gets too much, you know, you can always come up onto fists. It helps out with your wrists a little, okay? So the next one, this isn't really a Kriya exercise, but I'm doing it anyway because I like it for opening up the hips. We're taking the left foot and just stepping it out to the side, okay? So straight out to the side. I know you can't see my foot, but you can see my leg. Stepping out to the side, and then we're just going to very lightly bend the elbows, taking the elbows down. Just a nice stretch into the inner thighs, opening up the hips that way, and then we can just do that little flow. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay, then we're coming back to all fours and we're still on this left side, okay? We're going to do our hip circles, lifting up with the hip. So we're taking this knee up and out to a right angle at first, okay? So we really want it to be quite right angle and then sort of straighten up through the spine. Flex your foot, begin to circle with the knee, okay? Circling, but that hip joint is getting going. So if you've been doing the blocks with me, you know we do these well, maybe not do them every week, but we do them an awful lot. But they're just so good for getting the energies moving that we need to get moving, the apana energy. They really help to move blockages in the hips. They help to get the blood flow moving. Okay? So we're just going to come down on this side and then we're going to go to the other side, okay? Right foot lifting, circling round. Okay, you guys circle round. I've not checked the screen in a while and I just want to check that everyone's okay. No No more comments, that's good. Okay. And this repetitive thing that I do all the time is because I want you to remember some of these postures so that you can do them through the week in between classes. It's nice to get a wee daily thing going when we're going through treatment or trying to conceive. Okay, knees down, okay? Moving on, let's stretch the sole. So now we're not on all fours. Oh, did we stretch our leg the other side? We didn't we not? Right, let's do that now. We didn't we not? So I did my left leg out to the side. Okay, we're doing right leg out. There's me thinking I was on it this week. Going within the first 10 minutes. Never mind. Right leg out to the side, okay? And then we're just going to bend the elbows down and lift up. Do you know what I should have done? I shouldn't have said anything. And you would have thought, oh, she's just doing that in reverse. That's dead clever. Really nice class plan there. But I'm too honest, so I'm just going to tell you, I just forgot. Okay, back into all fours. Now we're going to stretch that sole out, okay? So knees coming a little bit narrower than hip width, only tiny bit. Tuck the toes under and walk the hands back, okay? So this is where it gets a little bit ouchy into the soles of the feet. So ideally, we want to sit the bum on the heels here, all the way down, okay? So you're really trying to connect the sit bones onto the heels. It's not sore, but it's uncomfortable. Don't want you to be in pain. So if you're in pain doing this, lift up, okay? But it should feel that, like achy. So let's try and distraction. So we're going back to that sense of when we're meditating and the mind wanders and we're bashing ourselves. We're going to not do that. We're going to use the breath as our little tool, our little anchor. So we're going to breathe deeply, okay? We're also going to try and open the heart space, okay? So what we're going to do is take the hands and swim them behind, okay? So draw them behind, and if you can, clasp them at the base of the spine, okay? And send them down and away. So really open the shoulders. And then how good and open does your chest feel here? Lift up with the hands. Okay? And just find a little gaze point out in front to gaze at. And breathe deeply. Okay, and then we're going to release and bring the hands down and uncurl those toes. That was a long time there tonight. Well done, everybody. Tap your feet, okay? Release all that tension and give all that lovely energy back up your legs. Right. Where are we now? Okay, we are going to do one last posture from table pose, okay? Then we'll get up and do more standing postures, okay? So this is like, it's called a tiger pose. Again, it's lovely for the hips. So you can make it quite gentle or we can add, okay? So let's start with the gentle options. So we're going to lift up the left knee off the mat, but not out to the side like we did with our hip circles, out behind, okay? So that the foot's like pointing to the ceiling. You can point your toe if you want. And you really want to lift that knee up, okay? Really lift it up. Now you can do this with both hands on the floor, and if you're feeling adventurous, for want of a better word, bring your left hand onto your left foot, and we can sort of open up that way, you know, like the hands sort of help and lift up. Okay. And then drop down. I love how I'm saying adventurous. And that is life at the moment, isn't it? That's as much adventure as we're getting at the moment. Bringing your hands behind to hold your foot. Rock and roll. Okay, over to the other side. Well, actually, I'm saying that, but I think if you're in England, you can go to a beer garden just now, can't you? I can't do that in Scotland yet. I think we're next week for that. That's probably why I'm living life dangerously and bringing my hand round to my foot. Okay, drop down. Now we're going to come up to standing, okay? So let's do that really nicely. Tucking the toes under. Just walking the hands back. Don't worry, we're not going to stretch the sole. We're going to lift the feet up, the knees up off the mat. Plant the feet down. Okay? And we'll just chill out here before we start rolling up. Let's have a nice standing forward fold. And then let's curl up. Okay? Let's do a wee flow with Trikonasana and some warriors and some wide leg forward folds, okay? Let me just turn my heater off. I don't know why I really put this on because it's actually quite nice here today. And it's boiling when I put the heater on, but I think I'm just doing it out of habit. Right, so we're going to do a little flow. Okay, so if you've been coming, we do Trikonasana quite a lot. It's triangle pose. You're making your body like it's triangle. So the bottom bits of the triangle are your 2 feet and then your hands at the top. But before we do that, we're going to keep our feet a little narrower than we normally would in triangle. And we're going to do like a kind of pyramid pose, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our left foot forward and take a step back with the right. And as you can see, it's not quite as wide as I would go for triangle. I'd maybe go like one more step. Okay, and for triangle, we're out to the side. We're coming into triangle in a minute, so our hips are open. But before we do that, we're just coming and keeping everything forward, okay? So if you can look down at your feet, you've got your heels in line here, okay? Nice, strong feet. Now, we're not going too deep here. We're just going till our bodies are half, like parallel to the floor, just enough to get the hamstrings really working on the back, the top of the left leg, okay, right up at the top. Okay, so push down with the feet, keep those legs nice and straight, and sort of fold forward, but we're just reaching the hands forward. And like I said, we're stopping when our bodies are parallel to the floor. You feel that work in the back of the hamstrings? Okay, coming up, take that little step wider, and then we'll turn to the side. So in triangle, we're looking to really lengthen through the torso, okay? We're looking to create space. We're looking to connect up this heart to womb meridian, okay? Okay, so nice open hips, hands out to the side. Feet are essentially the same, so heels are in line. All we've done is go a little bit wider, okay? So we're going to reach over the straight left leg. We're going to start to fold down, but we're going to keep, so see this right side of your ribs, even take your hand on and make sure you're keeping it nice and open. Right side of the pelvis nice and open, right shoulder drawing back. Okay, lifting up with the right hand towards the ceiling. So you can see you've made a little triangle with your body. 2 feet and hands the top, and you can gaze up. You want that lovely length in the body. Okay, lifting up. Then we're going to bring both feet pointing forward. So we're going to do those 2 postures on the other side, but before we do, let's have some time in wide leg forward fold. So with triangle, our feet were as they are, but maybe a little wider for wide leg forward fold. So just kind of do that kind of walking sensation to get them wider, okay? All right, so hips are nice and neutral. Take your hands onto them and find that little crease at the top of the thighs and and that's where we're going to encourage the bend to come from, okay? Lengthen through the torso. Again, we don't want curling over with the spine as we're folding over. We want openness. So let's fold forward, take the chest down, okay? Then start to bring your head to gaze in between your legs. Okay, and if your hands can come to the floor, then that's good. If not, just let them hang out. Breath. If your mind's being naughty and wandering away on itself, notice the breath as it moves in and out. Notice how this posture feels in the body. Okay, let's roll it up. All right, so we're back up to standing. We've gone wide with our legs, but we need to walk them back in. So we'll do Trikonasana first, then we'll do that intense forward fold. So everything's in reverse. And I meant that this time. That's how I planned it. So we're going to go right foot to turn, back, left foot is kind of at 45 degrees. I'm slightly too wide, I'm just going to come back in. Lovely straight legs, hip open to the side, hands reaching out. Ribs drawing out. Really open with that side of the ribs. Left side of the hips opening up. And lifting up. Okay, let's keep the feet as they are, but turn the body and a little step. So I'm saying feet as they are, and then I get you to move, just to confuse you. Essentially the way they are, but a slightly shorter stance, just like we did on the other side. And reaching out. Okay, lifting up, turn so that we point both toes the same way. Right, we're going to take our legs like wide leg forward fold. We're not going to do wide leg forward fold, we're going to do side lunges, okay? Do lunges quite a lot, but these are side lunges and they're really good for opening up through the pelvis, okay? So walk your legs wider, like as if we're coming to wide leg forward fold. Then we're just going to kind of flow side to side, okay? So we're going to bend into the right leg, okay? So the toes are still pointing forward, okay? We're going to sink down and we can bring our hands towards the floor. Now, my heel here has lifted on the right side. Ideally, we want to keep it quite flat, but we're going to be moving, so the heel's going to come up anyway, so let's not worry too much, okay? So we're settling down here and we're just have the hands on the floor, feeling that lovely openness, and then we're going to lift up and we're going to walk our hands over to the other side as we bend in to the left knee, okay? And then we'll just flow side to side, okay? Fold over to one side and walk the hands over to the other. Nice, slow, gentle flow here. Okay, now we're going to stay over on the right side and let's let this heel lift up. So we want it to lift up and we're opening out to the side and we can lift the left toe off the mat. Okay, quite intense. So we're opening, oft. Quite intense, eh? and the old hamstrings. Okay, so opening out to the side, lifting up with this heel, lifting the left toes. Use your hands as a little bit of support. And then we'll go up and over, and we'll do the same on the other side. So we're lifting up with the left heel, we're opening this leg out, and we're lifting up with the right toes towards the ceiling. Okay, so then we'll just come in to just gentle wide leg forward fold and then roll up. We're going to come in a little narrower now, okay? So we're still opening up with the hips. So I'm not coming to hip width, I'm keeping them wider. We're coming to Malasana goddess squat, okay? So for that, we want to sink right down, okay? If you know, my hip flexibility is just not going to allow me to sink right down, let's not worry about it. Let's just stop where we stop. Or if you fancy coming all the way down and you want to feel what that's like, but you need a little help, then stack up some pillows to help, okay? Show you what I mean, okay? So feet 45 degrees, hands over your heart, knees nice and wide, sinking down, and then I'm just sitting on the cushion, okay? Very nice. And you can just use your elbows to open up with the knees. If you don't have the cushions and you know you can get all the way down yourself, then let's do that, okay? So feet 45, sinking down with the sit bones, okay? All right, so then we're just gonna, sorry, I just need to adjust mine a little bit. So then, so we've got our elbows to the inside of the knees, okay? And then just let your knees sort of sink in, and then use your elbows to open them out and bring the hands to the heart. And then just do that a few times. Inhale, exhale. Okay, hands to the floor, up we go. Good into the hips, isn't it? But really strong. So let's shake the legs off a bit. That's a lot of work we've done into the hips there. So they should be feeling nice. Should be feeling nice and lubricated. All those little fascia all working really nice. But most importantly, all the blood flow getting all stimulated and into your womb. Okay. So I did say we're doing quite a few prone postures tonight, but we'll get going with that now. But first of all, we're just going to do a nice puppy dog pose, okay? Such a lovely pose just to release tension in the upper back and open the heart space a little more, okay? So we're going to, from our high knees, we're going to walk our hands forward. So we've been in table talk quite a lot tonight, hands under the shoulders. We're going to bring them forward a little bit, okay? So hands more towards the top of your mat. Knees are still below the hips, okay? Then, you know, just like child's pose, when we're melting the heart down and the armpits, let's do that now. So just take the chest and the armpits slowly down to the mat. And you can take like your chin down and gaze along. And breathe here. Okay, then come up and walk the hands back under. Okay, right. Let me talk you through the plan for the prone postures and for those ladies who don't want to do them, okay? So if you're, say, on the 2-week wait, then you don't want to be spending too much time lying on your tummy. So everybody's going to come into pigeon pose, and then if you're not doing the prone postures, you just chill out in pigeon pose, like a sleeping swan, where we do pigeon, but then we lie down, okay? So it would be really helpful if you're not doing the prone postures, if you had cushions. You're not going to have a bolster. I was going to say a yoga bolster, but you're not likely to have that, but cushions anyway, okay? So get a couple at the front of your mat, right? You don't need these if you're doing all the different prone postures with me, all the ones on your tummy, okay? So let's come into all fours, and then let's go into pigeon pose, okay? So let's take the right knee up between the hands, okay? And take the left leg straight out, like really lengthen it. Then bring your left hand and get hold of your right foot, okay? And where it is right now is probably under, like tucked under the thigh, okay? We don't want it there, we want to kind of open it out a little bit more, okay? So let's wiggle out with the foot, okay? But then what's going to want to happen is the right bum wants to sit down onto the mat, and we don't want that, we want it to be lifted, okay? So if you're going to be spending a lot of time here as we move through the other postures, that's where the cushions come in, okay? It's so nice and restorative. You can just fold down onto your lovely cushions, maybe even 3 would be nice, and just really release here. And you're really going to get into this, okay? You're going to be spending quite a wee while here, so get it really, really comfy. And remember when I said don't put your right bum cheek on the mat? To make it super restorative, you can actually put a cushion under that. I know you can't see, I've done the other side, but I've shoved a cushion under there. That feels lush as well, okay? Folding forward, okay? So that's the option for the ladies who are not going to be chilling out of their tummy, okay? So everybody's in pigeon at the moment, so that's fine. You can make it a restorative one, okay? So for the ladies that are going to be moving through some other postures, from our pigeon, we're going to just add a little twist here, okay? So we're going to take our gaze over our left shoulder. I'm going to bring my right hand just onto the inside of my right thigh, my left hand onto the left thigh at the back, and just gazing over. Gazing over the shoulder. Adds a nice little twist into back round to the front, and then take your knee out, okay? Then we're going to come to the prone posture, okay? So prone as in on our tummies. So we're going to lower our body down, okay? And then bring your hands, actually I'll just move this mic a little because I'm lying down. Okay, so we're bringing our hands and we're just bringing our forehead onto our hands. We're stacking our hands up, and this is crocodile position, and it's such a wonderfully restorative posture. Create lots of lovely length in the spine, okay? Just use it as a little way to create length in the spine, okay? Then we're going to bend the left foot. So take your left heel in towards your bum and take your left hand to meet it. Okay, so you can do this still keeping your forehead on your right hand or your right arm. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, push into your right forearm and lift up with the body a little, okay? Raw, heel towards the bum, and you're just lifting up with the body. All you're doing there is putting a little bit more pressure into the womb space. Okay, release, come back up to all fours. And what we'll do now is we'll do pigeon on the other side so that the ladies who were doing the pigeon pose restoratively can come up and get yourself over to the other side, okay? So what did we do? We did right knee forward. So we're going to do left knee forward now. Take the left foot out. And see that gap there? You can see my left bum now, the bum cheek and or the glutes to be more scientific. There's a gap between that and the floor, okay? So if you want to do the restorative, stack my mic's away. I hope you could hear me all right. You're doing the restorative, stack the cushions and fold forward again. If you're doing a slightly more active one, then let's gaze over the right shoulder this time. Gazing behind. hands out in front, and then if you're doing with cushions, pigeon, just stay where you are. If you're doing a prone posture, lower down and go into your half bow position on the other side. So taking your foot onto right foot going down. You can stay lying down with the top of the body, or you can lift that up. Okay, and release. Okay, so the ladies who were doing the restorative pigeon, come out of that now. And I'll just give you another alternative while everyone else does another prone posture, okay? So literally, your alternative now is some beautiful cat to cow, okay? So you basically spend your time dipping down with the navel on the inhale, making space in between the sit bones, gazing up. Then on the exhale, you're curling up with the spine. Nice, slow, gentle cat cuddles. Okay, if you're doing the prone postures, then let's come back down again, okay? So lower down, bending the elbows, lowering down. And we'll do a nice locust position now, okay? So, loads and loads of different variations of locust pose, okay? But you start off on your tummy, lengthening through the legs, okay? And essentially, we're going to be lifting the top of the body and the legs up off the mat, okay? And all it does is make you sort of balance right onto your abdomen, okay? Which is just nice for a little massage into there and a little bit extra blood flow, okay? So what to do is bring your hands down by your side with the palms facing up, okay? And then start to unpeel the top of the body off the mat. So start with the shoulders, roll them back, peel them off, peel the hands up off the mat, so take them towards the ceiling, and then lift up with the feet and the legs too. Okay, so up to you how deep you go, but you're kind of just balancing on the lower abdomen. Okay, dropping down, hands underneath the shoulders, and make your way to child's pose now. And it's the same for the ladies who are doing the cat cuddles. Just everybody come down into child's pose. Okay, let me check my time. Right. So now we're going to move and do some seated postures, okay? First one is like an adapted Lord of the Fishes. Sorry, my hair is just a riot, it's falling out. I'm going to just grab a better bobble. 2 seconds. Getting in my eye and everything. So come and sit on your bums. And then what we're going to do is 2 options with this Lord of the Fishes pose, okay? So we can go quite tight and quite a intense twist if we're first half of the cycle. For second half, we do open twist, okay? So again, let's talk through everything, right? So sit bones sitting down, and then what I'm going to do is bring my right foot so that it's flat on the floor and the knees hugged in, and then the left heel, bring it and tuck it under. This, if this feels really don't like the feel of this, you know, you can just take that left leg straight, okay? Up to you, okay? And just gently hug on. So you were just taking the arm and hugging round the knee, okay? So right, that's it for an open, right? So this is the open version, okay? So right arm hugging round right knee, left hand coming behind, okay? Lifting up and just simply gentle twist, gazing behind, okay? That's the open version. If you're first half of the cycle, leading up to ovulation, you want to get things pumping a little bit more. Left arm hugging right knee, okay? Then right hand onto the floor behind, and you sort of twist into the thigh. So it's quite a different feel, both these versions, okay? Okay, come back round to the front. Let's switch it over. So now we'll take left foot, tuck it under. No, right foot, tuck it under, left foot on the mat. Okay, and remember, if you're doing the open version, it's same arm hugging onto knee. If you're doing closed, it's opposite arm onto knee, okay? So just, sorry, my mic keeps flashing in this posture because I'm squeezing it up. Okay, so I'll just do the closed version. I'm taking right arm, hugging it round. Make sure both sit bones feel nice and equally rooted here, okay? Okay, back round to the front. Let's go wide with the legs, okay? Forward fold, wide leg forward fold. Now, cushion underneath the sit bones if you feel like you're starting to do this. That's one of my really bad habits, kind of curling here. We don't want that. We want nice and lifted, and sometimes just sitting on a little cushion. Let me show you. Grab a little cushion, pop yourself under it. Literally just perching on the end, legs nice and wide. The light on this goes really bright sometimes. I don't know why. It's like a big light and then fades again. Just happened there. Very strange. Right, so legs are nice and wide. We're going to lift up with the hands. Lovely straight back. Lovely open chest. And we're going to start to tilt forward. Okay, remember that we're tilting from the hips. Okay, we're trying to keep straight spine, relaxed shoulders, folding down. Let the hands come to the floor. Use the breath. Every exhale, maybe we can just fold forward a little bit more. Then we'll walk back up, okay? And we'll bend the knees and we'll bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana, okay? So bring the soles of the feet together. Okay. And I just noticed like a mark on my foot there. I was like, what on earth is that? It looks like a kind of like a birthmark. And I was like, well, I'm 39, so that's not a birthmark that I've not seen before. Then I remembered I was painting furniture today. Paint on my foot. Don't know why I decided to share that with you, but that's my life. Okay, feet coming together, hands coming round. So you can either make a little basket with your hands or just pop your hands on your ankle. Again, we want to lift and lengthen through the spine. Chest open, kind of wrap the elbows just to the side of the body. And we're just going to lower those knees down towards the floor. Don't worry about where they get to. Sometimes some people can just flop them down onto the floor without really much thought. I'm not one of those people. Some people are just built differently and their knees are much higher up. So even if your knees are way up here, taking them just that wee millimetre down, this really helps to release into the hips, okay? So just lowering down. Breathing deeply, relaxing the shoulders. want to go a little deeper, you feel you want to really open the hips a little more, and start to tilt forward, just like we did in our wide leg forward fold. Tilting forward, same pose, exactly the same principles. Nice, straight-ish spine, nothing too curved through the spine. Chest lowering down. Back up, and we'll just bring our knees together, straighten through the legs. We're going to come onto our back just for our final couple of postures, okay? So I'm going to take the cushion out from underneath my bum, and we are going to use the length of the mat and just lower yourself, melt yourself down onto the mat, okay? So we're just going to open up the hips a little bit from supine, so from lying on our backs as well. So before we do that, we'll just do windshield wiper legs, so feet flat on the floor to start with, and then just take the knees side to side. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. Okay, back into center. Then we're going to lift our feet off the mat, okay? So we're going to have our knees wider than hip width, okay? So just take your knees wider and take the soles of the feet and make them parallel to the ceiling, okay? So we're moving, and we can bring our hands either, depending on our flexibility, so you can either just bring them behind the thighs and draw the knees down towards the floor, or if you can, reach for your feet, okay? So the feet are really quite flat and, you know, quite active towards the ceiling. Hands pulling down against the feet. Knees coming towards the floor, either side of the body. Now you can either stay quite flat, like not flat, quite static, or you can have a little rock from side to side. Okay, then we're going to take both knees more in together and draw the knees towards the chest, Affirmations position. So just link the hands round the knees and draw the knees in towards you. Okay, now just get yourself up to seated. In fact, you don't really need to do that. I need to be up to seated because it's time for Shavasana, okay? So the reason I got you to sit up is maybe you've got a little hoodie or some socks to put on because you want to keep a nice gentle heat in the body as you're relaxing. You don't want to get a wee chill or anything, okay? So get yourself cozy and then make your way back down into Shavasana position. And when you do, make it really slow and mindful, okay? So start off sitting up, heels apart. So I've not got my heels together here, I've got them apart. And then I'm just going to sort of melt the spine down onto the mat, hands by my side, palms facing up, but like out from the body, okay? And then close your eyes, okay? And And I'm just coming up so I can talk you through your final relaxation, okay? All right. So we'll do some really positive fertility affirmations, okay? But we will get ourselves into a nice deep and relaxed state first, okay? So when you're ready, allow the eyes to gently close. And then begin to tune in to the circle of the breath. Tuning into the sensation of the breath. Full inhale, drawing in the warm exhale as you breathe out. Let's draw attention to any little points of tension that are left in the body. So maybe there's some tension in the jaw, and we just maybe want to have a yawn or take the jaw side to side just to release it. There's maybe tension in the forehead, and you just need to smooth your hand down over your forehead just to encourage it. Soften all those little worry lines, just softening out. Draw attention to the shoulders and draw them down away. Imagine again somebody is gently placing their hands on your shoulders and just drawing them down and away. As you're doing this, the body is responding. And it's beginning to feel like it's really, really heavy. And the arms feel heavy. And the legs feel heavy. Draw awareness to the feeling of the heels connected with the floor, and the heels feel like they're almost moving down and away from you. Hands, the back of the hands touching the floor, feel like they're moving away as well. And there's a real sense of heaviness in the limbs. Relaxation and heaviness in the limbs. Draw awareness to the spine now, and let's focus on the length in your spine. Beautiful length between the vertebrae of the spine, all the way from the neck down to the tailbone. Each vertebra releasing, melting down onto the floor. And at the same time as this, the back feels like it's widening, all the little muscles round about the spine moving to the side. There's a sense of the buttocks spreading over the floor. And there's a real sense of peace and calm coming over your body. And you're really not worried about the thoughts that will inevitably creep in, because you have come here to your mat tonight with a completely non-judgmental attitude to yourself. So those thoughts and worries don't bother you at all. They're not disrupting your precious self-care time. You know you've got the breath to anchor back to every time the mind wanders. So this sense of peace begins to come to the body. An overwhelming sense of peace and relaxation and calm. And a sense of real gratitude for giving yourself this time. You start to visualize now a beautiful aura of light around your body, surrounding your body all the way from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. And it's a stunning, beautiful light that's swirling over your body, suspended over your body. And it's an aura of protection and healing. And it feels like it comes with a beautiful warmth as well. And it feels like it's seeping into your body. And as it's seeping into your body, you realize it's bringing with it even more peace, calm, and relaxation. And so you sink even deeper into relaxation. And when you're in this state of relaxation, just noticing the breath as it moves in and out, enjoying feelings of peace and calm. Your subconscious mind starts to listen a little deeper. So let's talk to your subconscious mind now with some positive affirmations. I am fertile. I am healthy and whole and full of love. Our healthy, happy baby will arrive at the perfect time. My body is a fertile place worthy of conception. My womb is strong and fertile. I am worthy of love, life, and happiness. So we'll let those affirmations sink deep into your subconscious mind. And even if your conscious mind is fighting those affirmations, remember you came with non-judgment for yourself. So that's fine too. But believe me, your subconscious mind's listening at a much, much deeper level. I am going to say night-night now, even though it's not really bedtime, but I'm going to say bye now. I'm going to leave the music running, okay? Because you might need much longer here and enjoy the relaxation. You might want to start studying yourself out of relaxation, and that is fine too, okay? So I am saying namaste, and thank you for coming again. Thank you so much for coming, and this is the last in the block, but as I said, I'm happy for you to reach out to me on social media, okay? So take lots and lots of care, and I hope to see you all again soon, all right?